Happy Book Talk Tuesday. So this is the last Tuesday in April. So it's the last of the books that I love because it's National Library Month. And so I have a few more to share with you today. I could keep going. I could go on because there's a lot of books that I love. One of them is Captain Superlative. And I have to say, when I started reading this book, I didn't care for it. There's a girl that is dressed up like a superhero and going to school, and she's like there to save the day. She's standing up to bullies, and I'm reading it and I'm like, this is just not realistic. Kids are not going to dress up like this and go to school and act the way she does. Well, the other main character in the book, Janie, also thought the same thing. So Janie and I had a connection because we're both thinking this is really odd for this kid to be doing this. But as we get to know Captain Superlative a little bit better, we realize there are things going on that a lot of people are not aware of. Captain Superlative is like being a superhero for everybody to see, but Janie is going to have to decide if she is going to be a hero herself when she finds out what is actually going on in this whole situation. Y'all, it was good. You just have to, just get past it. Just get past it and you'll get it. You just got to keep reading. Just keep reading. Okay. This one, I just love Mason Buttle. So this is The Truth is Told by Mason Buttle. This was the first time I cried in a book in a long time. it just hit me right in the heart. So Mason he's a big kid. He's a sweaty kid. He can't read and write very well, but he has a heart of gold. He just has a heart of gold. And a lot of people pick on him and take advantage of him because he just is not quite with it, but he's just so kind. Well, Mason is the last person to see his best friend up in their treehouse one day. And then the next morning, Mason finds his friend dead at the bottom of the tree. And that's not what I cried about, but I could have cried. The sheriff or lieutenant in town really thinks Mason is responsible for this. And Mason is just completely honest and doesn't understand why the lieutenant would think this, or he doesn't get it. So there's a whole lot going on in this book, but Mason is just a character that I absolutely love and will carry in my heart forever. All right, Words on Fire is by Jennifer Nielsen. I read everything Jennifer Nielsen writes. She's fantastic. You guys may have read The False Prince, the Ascension trilogy, Words on Fire. She's written Night Divided, The Scourge. Anyway, Words on Fire, I'm pretty sure this is on the Bluebonnet list for this coming school year. Takes place in Lithuania, and it is Soviet occupied. So Russia has occupied Lithuania, and they are just taking over. They're coming in and saying everyone is going to speak Russian. All these Lithuanian books are going away. We're going to burn it all. We don't want any Lithuanian language here at all. So this is historical fiction. So this is something that really did happen in history. So this girl, she was at home with her parents, and the Russian Cossacks came to their house, and the parents told her, leave, run, and take this package with you. Whatever you do, don't let anyone get it from you. Well, she didn't know it was in the package, but it turns out that it was part of an underground book smuggling operation to get the Lithuanian books out of the area and save them so that they aren't burned and they lose their history and their culture forever. Great book. All right. I know I've talked about Out of My Mind. I talk about it all the time because I just love it so much, but I had to tell y'all, and I know you're all familiar with this already because I've talked about it several times. Like, I don't know, last week or the week before, I cannot remember, Sharon Draper, the author, on Twitter told us that the sequel to this book is coming out in the fall. It's called Out of My Heart. She said people keep writing her. They've been writing her for years, wanting to know what happened to Melody after the book. And so now we get a sequel. Y'all, I'm so excited because this book, I mean, talk about like Mason Buttle, it lives in my heart forever. And Melody, Melody lives in my heart forever. This book is so good, and I cannot wait for the sequel. If you haven't read it, you might want to read it before the sequel comes out, because you're going to want to know what happens. You're just going to. All right. And the last one I want to talk about is Forgotten Girl, The Forgotten Girl. I don't read scary books very often. You know this, but I'm trying to read more of them. And this one is also historical fiction. So a lot of ghost stories are historical fiction. So this girl, Iris, and her friend go play out in the woods behind her house one night in the nice, fresh, beautiful snow. And she makes a snow angel. And when she does that, she sees like the crumblings of an old grave. Well, after that, she keeps feeling this pull towards the graveyard. And she and her friend realize that it is it's a black burial ground from long ago, probably around slavery, I would imagine. And so there are all these unmarked graves of people that no one has accounted for. And so she and her friend are on a mission, because they feel like people should have a proper burial, and people should be respected enough to have something done for them in their honor when they pass away. But in the middle of that, there's lots of, there are some spirits that are disagreeing with what the friends are doing. And so there's a lot of tension and issues going on at the same time. Some pretty tense moments, I got to tell you. All right. So I hope you saw something that you like, and you go read lots of good books and have an amazing day.